Hello, my name's Adam Cook, and this is One to Watch. Figment is an indie game, and I think you can tell that just by looking at it. It's got a different looking art style, it doesn't look generic. Not that all AAA games are generic, but this one's certainly got a unique look about it. It's very surreal, the characters, the enemies, just the world itself, which is apparently in a mind. Now, I don't know if overall, if once the final game's available, you'll find out through the story that this is your mind, or just a mind of someone that you're in, but there seems to be different environments that signify different parts of the mind, and there definitely already, for me, seems to be a focus on perhaps mental health that I may be pushing onto it, but it certainly seems like there is something to it there. It's basically an isometric style game with puzzle solving, and you've got combat, and other than that, that's so far, that's kind of what it is. But as you can see, looks good, sounds good. The combat is okay, it's a bit clunky. Puzzle solving is good so far. Well, the thing is, it's funny. Like, the voice acting is humorous.
There goes me bloody power!
On top of that, the puzzles are enjoyable to solve, which sounds stupid, but a lot of puzzle games grind you down with boredom, whereas this actually feels good because you're exploring a world that's enjoyable to be in. It's a lot to do with music. The bosses will sing songs at you.
You wake up from my fever dream, your blood is boiling, your headache split, you lose your lunch and smell like something nasty.
Now, sure, it's possible that if you play this for a really long time, you might get bored by the song being sung at you from dying over and over, but in the preview build that I played, I didn't die once. There's plenty of health around if you need it. There seems to be some sort of leveling up system, because when you kill enemies, they drop these sort of silver white orbs, which I think make your health larger. I can't be sure, because the build I played had sort of 6 levels, 2 from 3 different parts of the game. You should care because it's different. Apart from the fact it looks gorgeous, it's enjoyable to have something that's different in terms of just the boss fights. Like, instead of just, this is what you're supposed to do, well, it's quite clear what you are supposed to do, obviously. It's, it wouldn't be much fun if you had no idea. The fact there's sort of the humour to it, which it veers between childlike, and it's got that beautiful thing of it's almost adult, but only if you know what it means. There's a wonderful personality at play here that I really kind of want to see more of. Down to the simplest of things, like you can go up to some horns that are playing and batter them, and they start playing music in time with the actual score underneath the game. It feels like one of those games that you're lucky to play early, because you think to yourself, this could actually end up being something a bit special. So really, ultimately, this is one I can't wait to play overall. There's not much to pick holes in. Occasionally it's a little bit awkward in terms of some of the platforming wants you to move from section A to section B, and there's a very small area to move across, and you end up walking into no man's land, if you know what I mean, and you can't move on, you just have to adjust. It's a tiny complaint. It's also difficult to know how long it is based on what I've played. It could be too long, because it feels like a game that, 2-3 hours, as long as you're okay at solving puzzles, it should be fine, but it's difficult to know from what I've played. But generally speaking, Figment has gone from a game I'd hardly heard of, just seen a trailer that looked cool, to a game that I genuinely cannot wait to sit down and play more of, and right the way through, see if there's a story underneath all this, because the characters and creatures are just superb, and Dust is great. Figment is coming summer 2017 on Steam, which is the version I've played, and they just say all major consoles, which I'm hoping means PS4, Xbox One and Switch. I don't know what they consider major consoles. But if you consider this a major channel, that's terrible. I'm so sorry. If you liked this video, if you enjoyed what you saw, what you heard, then make sure you click like, subscribe, all that stuff. You know how to do it. You know what YouTube is, don't you? But the other thing I would ask is, if you did enjoy it, share it. Because apart from anything, the idea of doing these one-to-watches is that I perhaps bring a game to your view you may not have heard of, and now you go away going, that looks really cool. I appreciate him doing that. I'm going to tell my friends about this cool-looking game, and that great guy. Yeah, you can't see me winking. I am. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you in the next vid. Bye-bye.
Prepare for liftoff!
Jeez, shut up and fasten your seatbelt.